All right, welcome to the Spoiler Kings. Me, Tank Kramer. We got Taco Chewbacca down there, also known as Alfredo. And we bring in Brian in this week, and of course, we're bringing our unofficial member of the Spoiler Kings, Mr. Zach Attacks Reviews.
You said Mrs.
Mr. Did I say Mrs.? No, I didn't.
It sounded like you said
I hope
Mrs.
not.
I hope not. Mr. Zach Attacks.
I have to come to Chicago. What do you say?
I know. Hey,
Knock on the door, 6 in the morning.
it's too
Knock on the
cold.
cabin.
Edit that out. But people don't know where to find you are by now. Anybody watching that's new, let them know where they can find you at.
Yeah, so Zach Attacks Reviews on my YouTube channel. Do movie reviews, ranking lists, Throwback Thursday reviews of movies I've never seen before, and all that stuff. I review Ant-Man. I review like the smallest indie movie you never heard of, and I just give my opinion in short form and long form. So check me out.
Yeah, cool. So I'll put the link in the description so you can go check him out, give him that subscribe. All right, so this week we got 2 more movies. Our first one of the night, we're going to talk about Triangle of Sadness.
Yes.
Woody Harrelson is on the poster, but I mean, he's in the movie technically.
He's
but
there, but did you?
He's
Does
a
it
big part
matter?
of the movie, but
Is he? Does it matter? Because it's like really, he's not. Is he really there?
yeah,
Like it's almost like asking if a tree falls in the forest and no one's around to hear it. Did it make a sound? That's kind of what Zach asking.
yeah. I mean, I guess it was the best part of the movie for me, at least. It was him, but
No.
he was in it for like.
That was
10
not the
minutes.
best part of the movie. There were
Oh,
two best parts that I enjoyed in that movie.
Yeah, okay.
I can tell you right now, or I can wait till time.
Well, let's do a quick
Synopsis.
breakdown of the movie synopsis. You got one up, Brian?
Yeah, I got one real quick.
Go for it.
Carl and Yaya, a couple of young influencers, are invited to a luxury cruise ship along a group of out-of-touch wealthy people. The situation takes an unexpected turn when a brutal storm hits the ship. That's the synopsis. That's pretty much what happens.
that's what happened.
Yeah.
The surface level. This crazy story.
yeah. So we'll get into some of our good, some of our likes, some of our dislikes, and then we'll ask the question at the end: does this movie deserve to be on the Best Picture category for the Academy Awards? So Zach, we'll start with you. Give us a few things that you liked about it.
I like the weird structure of the film. It was like a 3-act structure, like a play. We got the beginning with the relationship and the modeling, and then we transition to those characters going onto the boat, and then we start getting the central characters and the weird stuff that happens there, and then the island. And the way how all of it connects and has the same themes throughout was really cool. I like that it was really funny to me. Throughout, it was just some weird ass comedy going on.
I'm so glad I'm not the only one that was laughing my ass off.
It's a dark comedy.
So
it's like
awkward.
The Menu.
It's like The Menu. Exactly. That's good.
Yeah, it's just a foreign version of it. I like the performances. Rest in peace, one of the influence girls. She actually passed away.
Really?
Right before the movie came out, and she was in Black Lightning, so that's where I remember her from.
Yep.
So yeah, to her, and I also think Woody Harrelson was great in it in the small amount of time that he had, and they were right to use him to promote this movie. He's the only one I know, and I want to shout out Ali De Leon because she should have got a Best Supporting Actress for this film.
I think what
That's my
happens.
general thoughts.
Most people didn't know who she was or who anyone else was in the entire movie.
Yeah.
Man, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's just Woody.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. No one else. So, no one else was really big. He was kind of big in the trailer. I know we watched the trailer and we were just like, what is this? And, he's in it. So I'm like, it's going to be at least somewhat kind of good, hopefully. But yeah. Fredo, what about, so should we skip you for night now?
No, why?
Oh, I know you were eating.
No, I'm fine.
Okay. What you like about it?
The old lady blowing up, one, and the old lady sliding everywhere environment in the
environment. Yeah,
I was laughing my ass off. There was a lot of parts where I'm like, one event led to another. Then it got to me, and I was even telling Jess, I'm like, did he get seasick or food poisoning? Because all of a sudden everybody started puking, everyone. And then I started thinking, I'm like, well, one person gets sick, and then the stench, the smell, someone like, oh man, it got to them, and then it just like a chain reaction. So I kind of look at it that way also.
Can you imagine all that throw up smell all at once? Just one person throwing up is disgusting, but like 7 people doing it,
I'm like, man, if I don't move, man, I'm gonna throw up too, man.
Can you imagine you puking and sliding all over your own puke and shit on the ground,
and other people's puke?
No,
you're the chicken, the Russian lady in the toilet room.
In the toilet bowl.
Oh yeah. Oh man,
he was just sliding everywhere.
Oh yeah. I'm like, at that point, go in the tub. I think me and Erica were like, just go in the tub and just like what? Yeah, at least you're in one spot and now we have to bang your head on it.
But it wouldn't be as funny then, Kramer.
No, of course not. Yeah.
Other than that, it was really. It wasn't like, I don't know. It wasn't like nerve-wracking or nothing like that. It was like you're waiting for something to happen, and when it happens, it wasn't a letdown. But yeah, it wasn't like, oh shit, okay. You just keep going. You know, life happens, shit happens. I enjoyed it. I wouldn't mind watching it again. It's a little bit too long, just a tad, but
yeah, it was kind of long.
I think they could have easily cut out a couple scenes from the vomiting or a couple scenes from they were talking the selfishness with the dates in the very beginning. There were little parts and bits they could have easily left out to bring it out to 2 hours. Overall, I kind of liked it.
Okay. Yeah. What about you, Brian?
What I like really? I mean, I do like black humor. Not black humor, but black humor. I do like how they kind of were just pointing out like social inequities. Like, you know, it was like pretty obvious. Anytime you're gonna deal with someone who's rich and you're not in the same social group as other people, that those things are gonna come up. So I liked that they were willing to go there and and show what people think about certain things. When you're amongst people that are like you, I guess is the best way to explain it. I also love the fact that they all had to deal with this shit. They had to deal with all the stuff that you reap what you sow. So I thought that was really cool to see that, but it was way too long for me. I thought this could have been done in an hour 45 minutes easy.
Yeah. So going off it, I like the 3-act thing because kind of like how what Zach said, where like it set up and then it had the big part and then the ending, but I feel like the middle part was like the best part just because it was funny. They talked a lot about different things that you really don't see people talking about on the movie. You know what I mean? You probably go on Twitch or some YouTube podcasts and shit and they're talking about all this different kind of like government theories and all that crazy stuff. So I enjoyed that, and it was also just like all the rich people talking about it. It was so interesting, and then all the shots were great. But that beginning part, I get why it was there because it set up the central theme of money and like that traditional gender thing of like, oh, the guy needs to pay, but she makes more money and this and that, and it was kind of like some old school with the new school kind of stuff, clashing, but it set up the thing of money. It just took way too long, and the ending. I don't want to get into the ending yet, but that third act, that third part was way too long. I thought, but
exactly
way too long. I think they could have got where they needed to go like in like 10 minutes.
Dude, I thought it ended twice. I honestly thought it ended twice. I was like, oh, it's over. It's not over.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. But
this
man,
was my out of the 80
so
movies I saw in 2022, this was my number 24.
Wow.
I thought it was a great film. I didn't have any narrative problems with it. I think the only thing I would have cut was the model scene.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. That felt really out of place.
It felt like it was out of place. I get it. I get what they were trying to do, but and model agency came out and said that's exactly what they actually do to us. But that could have just been like a separate movie. I don't think it really added that much to the overall narrative, but I think that the relationship part, I really like that aspect of that in that conversation, and it really led to like the different conversations they had throughout the film. My favorite part was the island part because I love that it
Really?
showed when money doesn't mean anything when it's about survival.
Yep.
Mhm.
And power dynamic, whoever has the most skills is the one that's going to be the leader. And the person that was, what I think the
Abigail.
movie did brilliantly is that they had all these workers in the background not talking. They weren't characters, and then one of them becomes the central character leader. And I think that's amazing because that's kind of how people who are maids and stuff like are treated. They're background characters in these rich people's lives. And then when you take their money away, they're the ones that are the ones that can take care of the world. So, and Dolly alone, that switch from like I'm a little a Spanish woman to I'm the boss now. Give me your dick. I was just like, whoa, that was amazing.
Yeah.
And I love the ambiguous ending to it. I love. I know we're not going to go into the ending, but I love the ambiguous.
Well,
ending to it,
we
but
can.
Yeah, I just didn't like the part of showing him running. I didn't understand like what was the point of that. Just leave it at did she kill her or not? Like that.
Yeah.
I think that would have been perfect, and cut it there. I think probably the director indulged a little bit in certain parts. I can say that.
Okay.
But I thought it was great overall. Like I didn't really. I don't regret watching it at all, and I'm gonna get the Steelbook because I'm excited to watch it again.
So the ending I had a question about the ending as well. One, did she kill her or not? Two, the guy running, why is he running? Is he running because he wants to catch up to find out, hey, let's work this out, with his girlfriend? Is he running because she did kill her? Went back to the camp and say, hey, she slipped and fell, busted her shit. Now she's dead. Or is he running because, hey, there's an elevator. We're on an island where there's rich people here. We're saved. So it was because he was running like a bat out of hell without giving any care in the world because any of those.
What was happening to him, right?
Yeah.
Right. The branches and everything. He was like, Jerome Bettis going through a D line. You know what I'm saying? He getting smacked in the face, everything. Nothing was stopping him. So he had purpose.
Yeah.
So what happened before then? I don't know. With its huge question marks. What was the purpose of him running and getting smacked in the face and getting beat up by nature? I have no idea, no clue.
I might be wrong, but I thought it was fear I saw in his eyes. That's what I thought.
That's what I got too. Like I felt like he was running because he was going to try to stop her killing her. But again, you don't know what happens and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean the ending for me was probably the weakest because it just was so. It felt very different from the rest of the movie. Because the rest of the movie had like all these like weird vibes and this and that, and then it got very, very, very serious in a very like quick, time. Like the last was 4 minutes or so, 5 minutes maybe, where it was like, oh, this has got really, really serious, and then it just felt so different from all of the other 2.5 hours, So that was my only thing. I was like, and I don't mind those kind of endings where like, did they do it? Did they not do it? That really open for interpretation kind of stuff. I think that's like a good way to end it, but not with this one. I feel like it needed the ending needed to be the cherry on top of the madness kind of stuff. Like,
I think the ending was supposed to be like, would you do it?
Yeah, I can see that.
I think that's what it is. It's just like, would you take the job and go back to normal life, or would you kill her so you could stay on this island and be the king?
Yeah, but then at the day, I was like, you're gonna stay at the island.
I don't know what I would have done.
Yeah, I mean, but you're only staying at the island for it's gonna end eventually, and it'll end a lot sooner than your life in the real world.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
I mean, because the Jamaican guy accidentally found that lady in the boat. He was just passing by, like selling hats and Rolexes and all this shit, and he's like, "Hey, wait a minute! Oh, hey, here's a customer, whatever." So if she was accidentally found by him, I'm sure
They would've been
everyone
found
else,
eventually.
yeah, eventually. Now, I think that she did not want to go back to being a toilet manager. I think that was her title, what they were naming her.
Mm-hmm.
She enjoyed the power that she had, and hell, I mean, would I have killed her? No, I wouldn't. We're saved, you know. That's just me. You know, I'm not a toilet manager, becoming a captain, as she put it. Because remember that guy's like, hey, I'm rich, I have money, whatever. So you know, people could have easily hooked her up because it wasn't for her, I would have been dead. You you caught my food, you cooked my food, and you gave me food. So because of you, I'm still alive now. So in
Yeah.
return, here's X amount of money. Here is a 6-figure job. Here's something. You know, I'm sure because it was an island full of rich people and could have she could have easily got like almost anything from anyone at that point.
I mean, but also you're putting a lot of faith in a group of people that she knows how they are. You're saying like, oh yeah, he should have gave her money, but he's not. He should make sure she has a good life for taking care of her, but he's not. He's like, oh, cool. Thanks for leaving me alive, and kick to the curb. You know, it's like, that's not how the real world works.
Well,
because
I understand that, and
people sign contracts,
but that's the issue. Yeah, but that's the issue with her. Like, you know, like I could live in this world and make these people be my like servants, and I'm king. You know, because
I strongly believe she knew they were on an island with because there was a point where she Yaya, I think her name was Yo-Yo, whatever. She wanted to take a walk. Where are you going? On the other side of the mountain, on the other side of the island. I want to search. Okay, I'm going with you. Immediately. So it tells me she knew they're on an island. She knew she was going to find out eventually because when they're walking, I think her name is Abigail, the captain. She was in the lead. She was leading her. Hey, I'm glad we're doing this, whatever. Until she reached a certain point where she pulled over a bush or branch, let her pass. Now she's behind her. Now she has an eye on her. Like, what's going on? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I kind of believe that she knew, Abigail knew they're on a fancy remote island. And
Sandals Beach.
Yeah, basically, yeah. So I kind of basically knew she knew. Yeah. I think she knew.
Super resourceful.
Yeah. I didn't think about it like that, but that makes sense why she's like, oh no, I'll go with you. Oh no, I can go with you. No, I will go with you. You know, it's like she made that a point to like,
immediately.
That's interesting. I didn't think about that.
Thought.
Yeah, I like that. Any other bad stuff or stuff you guys didn't like?
Man, I don't know. I mean, I got Gilligan's Island feels to this. You know, like, you know, if it was everyone crashes and then everything changes, your roles get reversed, and the only thing that matters is who can provide exactly, you know, what the movie was, and then now you get your chance to get off. What do? And that's how the whole time I'm thinking like I'm watching the episode of Gilligan's Island, but in real life.
If you want to get off,
the whole time.
If you want to get off, go in that little boat.
Yeah, but that's just what it just seemed. It was a very simple plot, and I appreciated it, and I appreciate just seeing people's character, because I think that's what it really came down to, the character of the people, and the character of everyone. You can't trust anyone, so that's why you can't just say, okay, why didn't she just ask for this? Because you can't trust any of them, and their character has already been shoddy, and we've seen it. The whole first half of the movie is just about showing what type of character these people have, and how they really don't care about anyone else. And when you have that much money, you really see who you are.
Yeah. That's why I like Woody Harrelson's character a lot, where He was like well, the Russian kept calling him
Communist,
an American communist. Yeah, which was funny because that's not what he was, but that's what he was labeled as. And but he was stuck in this world where he's like, I don't believe in any of this shit, but I'm stuck in the middle of it. So it was kind of like a representation of like the normal person, because like you have the people that you never hear their voices and just do the work and shut up and the world keeps moving, which were the cleaning crew. And then you have the loud dickheads that say the most ignorant, stupid shit, and have no idea how the real world works. Like they got sick because she's like, everyone jump in the pool. It was like, yeah, but the food's going to go bad. No, think about the moment, it was like, well, everyone got sick.
Pissed me off.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, especially with the workers that can't say no. So it's like, how do you say no without saying no and being forced to do stupid stuff because a rich person is rich, and so like that was all like really interesting. But like, for me, the plot didn't really show itself until the third act, because the first act and the second act was like just all set up, and it was fun. Especially the second act, I thought was just super fun. The yacht part was. That was probably some of the best time I had in a movie at home. Yeah, it was chaotic. It was funny. Everyone's losing their damn minds. Meanwhile, the Russian and Woody Harrelson are like getting drunk and like do not care about it. It was like,
and I feel like Woody Harrelson planned it. He was like, "You all run to rich a-holes," and that's why he was in his room for so long. He's like, "They're supposed to do the dinner now, but I'm gonna wait till they can get seasick and get fucked up." Yeah, and that's why he made sure he ate a burger and not that weird shit that mess your stomach up. He planned it.
Yeah, like he all knew. He knew. Yeah. Because it's you're eating because with the chef, when he got the call, he's like, yeah, but the food's gonna go bad, and you're like, all right, we'll go, leave the seafood out and we'll figure it out later. So it's getting food like sickness plus the seasickness was just like a double whammy, and it was.
I completely forgot about that, Kramer. I completely forgot about that. So it was like food sickness.
But plus the motion sickness. Yeah. Both. But the one thing I did like was this weird. It was something that was in the background. Like this is like really like where it pointed. Like it came to like a very artsy fartsy kind of style with me. There was a constant sound in some scenes that were always happening, and sometimes you didn't know what it was. In the yacht, in the big scene, in the cafeteria was the baby. Because you never see the baby or anything. You see a glimpse of it, but you keep hearing this. Wah! I'm like, what the fuck is that? I'm like, what is that? Is like somebody bring a goat on board? And then it was a baby. And then it was a baby. So you have this weird, like this sound in the background of like a baby innocence, that's ignorant to all of the real stuff that's going around. Then they get to the world, to the island, and then you have the donkey kind of thing making this constant sound that's scaring them, but in real life it's like it's dying, like I think it was stuck or something. I forgot why he had to kill it, but
I think it was giving birth
for food. They wanted to kill it for food, for meat.
They wanted to kill it for food,
but it was dying for something because
it wouldn't move because it stayed in the same spot.
There was the baby was dying, it got hurt, and then there was the adult, and they had to kill the adult. Okay. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, that's fucked up because then you let the baby die. Which that even makes more sense because it ties into the baby from the boat, and so there's a lot of like that artsy kind of stuff going on in the background that if you kind of miss it, but I enjoyed it because it wasn't really pushed in your face. It was like it's there if you want to dig into it. There's a lot of messages. Don't catch it. Yeah,
like it's not gonna like change your world if you miss it or anything. But it was. For me, it's just like it was very constant. The bug, the fly, that was so damn irritating for me. It was so irritating because it just, and I'm like, it was driving me bonkers, But that was the point of it. It was just like, they're on the yacht, but they're still flies. Like they're still, they're shit, and flies are attracted to shit, and they're shitty people, kind of like all that kind of stuff. So, it was cool in that sense, but it was fun, but. I just love watching people puke, and that was peak. That was peak crazy. Potty humor, legit potty humor. Like where she's on the toilet, it's coming out from everywhere. Awesome.
That it's brave to have like a 10-15 minute puke shit scene. That and get it Oscar nominated. That's an achievement in itself.
Yeah.
This is
Like-
how I know that they actually put younger people on the Oscar board. Because if it was the one from a couple of years ago, there's no way this movie would have even got sniffed at.
Yeah, that's true.
That's
That is
interesting.
very true.
That's very interesting. All I think of was Family Guy.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I forgot
That
about that.
entire time, I was like, is he gonna ask him to hold his hair, hold his ears, and throw him on, throw him in the air? That's all I thought about the whole time.
Yeah. And then one last thing before we get into the last question was the grenade scene was
Yes.
just so good. Because who saw it besides the people that sell the fucking grenades? Or they were like war dogs, right?
Yeah,
Because he was saying
something
like,
that.
oh, we sell grenades or something. So she picks it up. She was like, oh look, and he's like, huh? Oh man,
And they're
I
the
love
ones
it.
who can sell it.
yeah, I could be
love it. Talk about
I'm pretty sure.
karma.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a great movie. It like
Yeah,
the more
it
you
was
talk
fun.
about it, it's a great movie.
Yeah.
As
it
I
was a lot.
said,
long.
But that's why I said you reap what you sow. I felt like that's all you got throughout the entire movie. You reap
Yeah.
what you sow everywhere. You know, if you're a good person, you get good stuff. If you're a bad person, shit comes back around. Shit rolls downhill.
Yeah,
That's
that's
what it
even
is.
a good person becoming a bad person. You know, like
Yeah.
you gotta say that path, and sometimes it's hard. You know, we're like, hey, here's power, and you're like, okay. So, but cool. So we'll finish this episode with the question: does this movie deserve to be considered one of the best pictures of 2022? Zach, what do you think?
I would have swapped it out for another film because, like I said, it was 24 on my list.
Yeah.
But when I think about the 23 movies I have ahead of it, there's like movies in there that would never get Oscar nominated. So once I start taking those out, it probably could make the list. I think it's an Oscar worthy movie when I think about the type of movies the Oscar likes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But then this is also not like The Fablemans, which is not a movie that I think the general audience would. I think the general audience can like this movie if it had advertisement.
Yeah. So,
Yeah,
Fredo,
so I think it
what
just.
do you think?
I think it just does the spot.
Yeah.
I really do believe this movie believes to be nominated.
Yeah.
There's like the art thing that you brought up. I liked. In one portion or another during the movie, I'm kind of thinking more of a biblical aspect of it. Like one of the 7 deadly sins, you know, there's greed and there's gluttony and there's all that shit there.
Yeah.
So I kind of figure that maybe it's some biblical aspect of it. But yeah, I mean, there's dark humor, dark comedic humor. I kind of enjoyed it. I like how the little guy ended up being the boss. What I don't like, the little guy became the boss and then got power hungry.
Corrupted.
Yeah, I guess corrupted, you could say, because she was power hungry. She did not want to go back to that world. She did not.
Yeah.
So everyone was basically survival for the fittest. You know, that guy had to sleep with her to get a nice cozy and get in the ends. So yeah, it was crazy. However, it's good. I like it. I really do believe it was rightfully nominated.
Yeah. Cool. What do you think, Brian?
I think this is a movie that you don't normally see in America do well.
Mm.
You know, so I mean, and that's kind of where I put it. Like thinking like in America, normally this wouldn't do well, but because it's a good movie, good quality script, I can see why it is nominated, but I also see why it didn't make any money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, I can see both sides of that coin, and yeah, I mean, it's a good movie, but for my taste, I could think of 10 other movies that I like more.
Mm.
Personally, like, you know, if I was ranking them, I could literally from last year, I could probably think of 12 or 13 more movies that I think are better deserving, but doesn't mean that this is not a good movie and that I didn't enjoy it. I enjoyed it a lot. I thought I liked the topics that they kind of brought out and pulled out, and I love the main theme. But you know, it's definitely an Academy type of movie. If you're talking to a regular person on the street, they'll be like, "The hell was this?" I don't know about this. So that's it's a different type of movie. So the question is, am I surprised the Academy put it in? No. Would I put it in? No.
Yeah. That's probably the best way to put it, because like it was fun. I enjoyed it a lot. I laughed pretty damn hard. You know. And even at one point, I asked my girlfriend. I was like, should I be laughing this hard at this? Because like it is messed up. It's messed up, but it's just like it goes to deserving people who deserve to be like that. So I don't know. It was fun, and I was kind of surprised that it did get nominated after watching it, because I thought it, especially with the potty humor, like Zach said, it was like damn, and it's not the greatest score wise. It's like 70 something on Rotten Tomatoes. Google's like 70 something. IMDb's like 7.4 out of 10. I think you see.
Yep.
I mean, is it one of my top 10s? No, like Brian said, but I see why the Academy put it in there. One, you got one big star, Woody Harrelson, even though he's in it for like 20 minutes,
total.
max. Yeah. But it did talk about a lot of themes and important themes in the world today and stuff like that. There's a lot of movies I never agree with that the Academy puts in, but I do get why they did it. It had its artsy, it's funny, I had a little bit of everything really, so yeah, but I'm okay with it being in, because they're not going to put any comic book movies in. They're not going to put, I'm shocked why they put like Top Gun in it, because they don't like big action movies. So these are more of the style that they usually do, maybe a little less potty. Although Roma, there's a whole shot of Roma where just a poop and then a wheel just rolls over it. So maybe they can learn to like poop a little bit more. We'll see.
I'm telling you, they got younger people in there.
Yeah.
The second movie we're about to talk about would have never got nominated if they didn't get younger people in there.
That is true. That is true. So, like Zach said, we are going to talk about something else. So, if you're watching live, stick around. If you're watching our replay, thank you. Make sure you check out Zach Attack Reviews. Link will be in the description. Go check him out. He does a lot of cool stuff over there. So, make sure you give him a sub. And while you're here, hit that sub button on this channel. Hit that like button for this video. It lets us know that you like what we're doing. Also lets YouTube know that we're doing a good job. So, make sure you hit that like button. But that is it for this review.